Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Pearl of Africa. It's exciting to welcome you to Entebbe in Uganda, East Africa. It's exciting to welcome you again to our YouTube channel, where we talk about places and, of course, we allow you as much as possible to have a realistic experience of different places, in Africa, different places in Nigeria, and of course, different places all over the world. It gives me so much excitement, to relate to you, to analyze, to try to ensure that you have a view, of course, beautiful views or sights of different places in the world. As I used to say to people, I say again, Nigeria is so beautiful, but I tell you most emphatically, I kid not, Africa is a beautiful place. By the time you have, the opportunity to go from one African nation to the other, you appreciate what I'm saying much more. I tell you, in reality, by privilege of what I do, and of course by God's privilege, I've gone to many or various, nations in Africa, and I can tell you emphatically, Africa is a beautiful place. So this is welcoming you to Entebbe in Uganda. Uganda is in East Africa. East Africa, there is Kenya, there is Rwanda, there is what's the place? There is Tanzania. At least I can remember all that. So there is Uganda too, under East Africa. I tell you most emphatically, Nigeria is a place worth visiting. Africa and African nations, are so beautifully designed by God that if only we were to have knowledge, you understand that, Africa is what Africa and African nations, of course, is worth visiting. There are some very natural deposits of God that makes you, when you visit, you appreciate God more. By virtue of my traveling, I realized that every state in Nigeria itself as a whole, every nation in Africa has its peculiarity, has its uniqueness. There is something that makes Uganda unique and peculiar. There is something that makes Africa unique. There is something that makes Kenya, I stay in Kenya most of the time. There's something that makes Kenya different from every other nation, and of course peculiar and very unique. Likewise, every other nation in Africa. Over time, I don't know whether it's because of the colonization, most nations have lost, consciousness of their uniqueness. Can you see this beautiful, it's called Lake Victoria. So, beautiful. This is what nations, if we were to really have the full consciousness of the appreciation of what we have in Africa, nations of the world by now, should be rushing in to celebrate Africa. I tell you, and I kid you not, there is so much of natural reserves, natural resources, natural endowments, not just human beings now, but in nature in Africa. So in every, place I go to, I celebrate God first. Then I celebrate the uniqueness of each nation, especially in Africa. Africa is so, so beautiful. So this is a view of, in Entebbe. When you arrive, the only airport in Uganda for now is Entebbe International Airport. So no matter where you're going to in Uganda, you must have your first stop in Entebbe. Even if you're going to Ginger, because there's a place called Ginger, there's another place, called Kampala. There are many other places, but by reason of the airport, you have to get to Entebbe first. So Entebbe is the gateway into Uganda. It's a very serene, quiet, peaceful place. If you compare it to Kampala, Kampala is the hustling and bustling place. Kampala is very crowded. Everything happens of course, it is the nation's capital, so it's very busy. But Entebbe also has its uniqueness. If you love nature especially, you will appreciate Entebbe, even in spite of the uniqueness of Uganda. So while I talk to you briefly, give some history as much as I know, I would like you to enjoy your views. So this is Nambi Road. It gives the realistic, the closest view to Lake Victoria. I stayed in one of the hotels, around here, and I had the opportunity to actually step my feet into the water, so it gives you the real feel of Lake Victoria. Of course, it's not everywhere you can put your leg like that, but when I asked, they said, okay, you can go to this other side, and I felt so fulfilled, that this is Africa. We have these resources, that I believe, by God's grace, I strongly believe that in years and times to come, the whole continent of the world will celebrate the resources and the reserves and the beauty of God in Africa. Okay, so basically, Entebbe is a town in Uganda that is connected directly to Lake Victoria. It is the gateway, as I said before, into Uganda if you are arriving from the airport. Entebbe is such a beautiful place. Like I said, it might not be crowded or populated like, Kampala, but, it gives you a very unique feel of nature. It's such a beautiful, I like the serenity, I like the calmness, I like the nature, the naturality of Entebbe. So right in front, if you are viewing with me, it's a mini market. Okay, so I walked down from my hotel this way. I bought honey. They have first class honey, not the diluted honey. They sell fish, those are very lovely, species of fish. The women are very exciting, and they are very friendly and hospitable, especially when they come across, tourists or visitors, as it were. And the prices are very fair and affordable. That's one of the most unique things in Uganda, and maybe most Entebbe more than Kampala. The prices, are very affordable rates for virtually everything. The honey we bought there, you can't imagine the price. We've not had that price that cheap anywhere. And of course, for good quality, not diluted, not mixed. So this is Lake Victoria. It's such a beautiful, experience visiting, Entebbe. Please enjoy your views. Oh, so beautiful, Lake Victoria. This is a view from the Palm Beach restaurant. It's a very nice restaurant. You can, have to get to eat all kinds of cuisines. Whatever it is you want, just tell them, they'll give you. So Lake Victoria is one of Africa's great lakes. Is in fact Africa's largest lake by area, the world's largest tropical lake, and the world's second largest freshwater lake by surface. Of course, after Lake Superior in North America. So beautiful. So Lake Victoria also holds the distinction of being the source of the Nile River. Nile River is one of the world's most famous and historical significant, waterways. So like I said in my previous video, it's one of the greatest uniqueness of Lake Victoria is that it's not only owned by Uganda, it's owned by Tanzania, Uganda, and also Kenya. So these three nations own the lake. It flows through the three nations. That's very exciting to know. So like Kenya has 6% of the total lake area, Uganda has 45%, Tanzania has 49%. So, that means invariably Tanzania has a greater percentage of Lake Victoria. But it spans through these three nations. Such a beautiful place. Okay, also worthy of note is that Nambi Road holds, a greater percentage of the hotels in what's it called, Entebbe. In Nambi Road, you have the Mickey Guest House, you have Two Friends Hotel, you have the Saffron Beach Hotel, you have Elementis, you have the Palm Beach Hotel, you have Anderita, all spread along Nambi Road. So it's, whichever hotel you choose along that way, it gives you access, to first class, first-hand access to Lake Victoria. I remember at this point, I put my leg inside the water. You can't imagine the feel. I didn't go in much like that young man, but it's exciting that I actually had the experience of Lake Victoria. Such a beautiful mass of water. Okay, here also is worthy of note that if you want to, do sightseeing, or boat cruise, there are provisions for boat cruise from Saffron Beach Hotel, from the Palm Beach Hotel too. There's the one for the boat cruise for 1 hour. There's a cruise for 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on what you want. You make your choice based on what you want to experience, and I can tell you it's very affordable. So they take you around, because there's an island. If you look carefully down the other side of the water, there's there are beautiful islands. So you just the boat cruise, takes you around the whole of the Lake Victoria, to that particular island you can see right now, and gives you a beautiful and exciting experience of Entebbe. Such a beautiful place. All right, so this is welcoming you to Victoria Mall. Victoria Mall is a one-stop destination for, your shopping, your dining, your leisure, your entertainment. And it's very special and unique because you don't just get to go and shop to, dine and wine, or, and of course have your leisure, there is a hotel too. So it's a one-stop destination. It's all encompassing. There is the Best Western, garden hotel. If you look up, you see that side up to down, that's the way the hotel is. So you don't only get to shop, you get to also lodge. It's very exciting, and is basically located in the center, the very heart of Entebbe. So Victoria Mall houses, the famous ShopRite. Am I right? No, sorry, not ShopRite. Carrefour, Bata, KFC, Middle East restaurant. It has MTN service center, because I remember I bought my SIM card there when I got to, Uganda. It has LC Wakiki. Everything you see, even has the bank, DTB Bank. Such a beautiful place. Please enjoy your views. You can buy clothes, you can buy shoes, you can change money. That is the DTB Bank. Everything. There's a butter shop, and I can tell you that's the Carrefour down there. Everything within here, I don't know how it's done, is very affordable. Maybe because it's highly competitive. So, the shops, the shops, try to make sure that, everybody can, buy comparatively. This is a view around Victoria Mall. Entebbe is such a beautiful place, very excitingly beautiful. All right, so it's been exciting speaking to you about Entebbe in Uganda. This is the airport. It's just a recently built airport, as I'm told, and it's the only one in Uganda for now. And even though I was told there are plans in place, put in motion to build another another airport, and that will be more of a cargo airport. But this is, Entebbe International Airport, very beautiful and exciting place. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comment. Please, if you are from Uganda or you visited Uganda, please, let's talk in the comment section. I'd like to hear your own experience, your own view. And like I said before, the story about insecurities and all of that is error, is false. Uganda is very safe. Uganda, is actually the pearl of Africa. Beautiful, even though you have to be very careful and vigilant, but it's a beautiful place. Thank you for watching. I love you. See you in my next video. Bye.